All right, today we've got Braden with us, and Braden, I'm excited for this. Braden just finished a bodybuilding show on Saturday. It is Wednesday, so he's like, "Hey man, if I have a little brain fog, bear with me." I'm excited to interview him. He's been working with us since February, and when he first came on, he had a pretty bloated team, and he was making pretty much no money from his business profit wise. Like he had some good numbers coming in. I remember reviewing the application. I was like, "Oh, this guy's gonna crush it." Then we looked under the hood and we made some pretty big changes to his model. And he just said before this, we probably saved him over $200,000 in payroll and expenses and stuff just from looking under the hood and saying, "Hey, dude, this isn't right." He's completely revamped his entire business model. And I'm really excited to have him on. Like, we're going to, in this interview, just like hear more about him, his story, how he got here. And also, I definitely want to dive into what your business model looked like and now, like, what it looks like. Because from what I've heard from Aaron, who's working with you, it seems like you're a lot more excited about what you're building. It seems like you may have some more fulfillment to doing what you're doing. So, yeah, man, I'm excited you're here. So, thank you for taking the time and doing this with me today.
Yeah, happy to be here, man. Of course.
Oh, cool, man. All right, we'll start this thing off by sharing a little bit more about like what it is you do.
Yeah, so my coaching program is called Look Like You Lift. We help guys look like they lift. It's really simple. Like it's
I
really
love
simple. Yeah, we have our guarantee that if you don't lose at least 10% of your total body weight in 6 months, you get every dollar back, no questions asked. Yeah.
It's so simple. Boom, tagline. You just nailed it. No, I
Yeah.
love that. And this dude's yoked too. He just finished his show. So if you go to his stuff, you'll see some selfies of him in his underwear looking looking cut
Hopefully,
up.
hopefully tasteful selfies, right?
Yeah. Well, how did you get into this space?
Oh, yeah, I've been coaching for over 12 years. I started as a competitive strongman and a competitive powerlifter and was mentored by some of the best strength coaches in the nation and some of the best coaches in the world. And I took that and I went kind of down the route of just competing and just getting as strong as humanly possible. But along with that, as you've seen, strong men are big and they're big and fat. And I got to a point where I just didn't like how I looked. And there's like this dichotomy between you can't look lean, like you can't be lean and be extremely strong at the same time. And so I just kind of lived with that for forever. But finally, it got to a point where you are your billboard, like you are your marketing material. So like no one wants to work with the personal trainer who looks like he needs a personal trainer. And so I committed to getting the fat off while maintaining my strength as much as possible. And I proved that you can be very strong and look great at the same time. And that's where Look Like You Lift came to be. So that's what I've been doing for the last 12 years and having a blast doing it.
Love that. When I was into weightlifting, it was kind of that way. Like Lynn Penley was one of my coaches, and yeah, it was
Mm.
just like his style was. I had donuts like before and after training session. I worked them remotely, but I would try to get as much calories as possible in before I had a squat session because I knew if I if I had enough donuts or enough carbs or just like enough food and calories in me, I knew I could hit my lifts that next session.
Hmm.
And I also put on a bunch of weight as I was doing that too. It didn't feel really good and ended up just like getting hurt because I didn't take care of myself, do proper deloads, like, any of that stuff. But yeah, I guess I relate to that a lot of just like pounding food to try to hit lifts. But honestly, I think if I did it again, I could do a lot better training and like set up my training a lot better programming, better periodization, where I wouldn't have to
That's
do.
what I've noticed. It really comes down to is the reason why you see so many people getting fat to get stronger is because that's like the easy way out. But if you have an intelligently designed training, nutrition, and lifestyle protocol, you really don't need to gain that much weight to get really strong. But that actually requires knowledge and know-how of how to do it. That's why you don't really see it that often. So,
Yeah, oh yeah, it's just linear periodization. Keep adding 5 pounds and keep just eating a bunch of crap and drinking raw
yep.
milk or whatever you're trying to do.
Yeah, that
You're
that I
right.
mean that can work. That can work.
All right. Well, dude, I love that. So tell me more about like when you started this online and like how it got to the point that it got before, I met you. What was your journey through like starting the business and growing it
Yeah.
to the team size you had?
It's actually kind of a wild story. So I went online full time back in 2018. So I stopped doing the one-on-one face-to-face stuff and just went all in online in 2018. Had some good success with that. And then in 2020, I decided to try out this whole TikTok thing. And I joked that TikTok was the best and worst thing that ever happened to me because I just made the commitment of I'm just going to post a TikTok video every day and just see what happens. I got to posting 2 TikTok videos a day and I just went viral. I exploded overnight. And with that explosion came an influx of leads of people who wanted to work with me. And so the first problem was I didn't have a system to take in all these leads. So I had to, like, for the first time, have a wait list for clients. At the time, I was actually onboarding my first assistant coach. I told him, said, hey man, buckle up. Like we're going to open up the floodgates here. So sure enough, like within a year, our business just exploded and like we couldn't keep up. We had to keep hiring new employees. We had to keep building systems and like those systems would break because the lead flow was too much. And so we just kept increasing prices, bringing in more employees, making more money, bringing in more leads. So like it was really cool and we made a lot of money, but then I didn't know how to sustain that. So then here we are in 2023, this magical gold mine slows down and I didn't know how to keep up this kind of growth, but I had this big team and then 2023 income started slowing down, but still have payroll to make. And then in 2024, that was like the worst year in business I've ever had. My employees were making more than I was. And so had this massive bloated team, had these massive bloated systems, had all these outgoing expenses, had all this payroll, which worked okay when we had the lead flow and the virality that we had a couple years prior. But when things slowed down, you know, the money dried up. And there's a quote from Warren Buffett that says, when the tide runs out, that's when you know who's skinny dipping. So like basically to say like when times are good, people can fake business success, but like when things start hitting the fan, that's when it's really apparent who's actually faking it, or like that's when you can find things that are broken. And sure enough, when the tide went out, that's when things were apparent that, man, we were doing things wrong. We were not as stable and successful as we could have been. And luckily, I had enough in reserves that I never missed payroll. So I was always able to make payroll. I had enough because I kept my income, or I never had like lifestyle inflation.
Expenses, yeah.
Yeah. So I basically, but for pretty much all of 2024 and part of 2023, we were just, it was that reserves was just depleting. Oh, like down, 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 down. So in 2025, I was like, I gotta fix something here. And so went with you guys because I was burned out from making content every single day. Like I was just so freaking tired of it. So I went with you guys because you guys do ads. And so I was like, I would much rather just go down the route of ads, spend money on ads, and then have a system to bring in leads. And so I initially signed up with you guys to do ads. But what actually happened is we took a look and Aaron said, dude, we can't run ads. Like we would be, this would be like the worst thing that we could possibly do is run ads right now. It wouldn't that wouldn't fix the problem. So instead, we spent, I would say the majority of our first run of coaching just cleaning up the business, which we can go into. I don't know how much more you want to hear, but that's essentially the last 7 years of online coaching up to this point.
I'm curious, like what kept you from, you said you were like, going into reserves for a year and a half or so. Like what kept you from just being like, I gotta let these guys go? Was there a thought of like, hey, things are going to turn around? Like, was that always the thought in the back of your mind? Because I imagine after months of that, it's kind of like, I've already been doing this. Like, it's what was going through your head there?
Yeah, well, I had another mentor at the time who he was very much of like an abundance mindset, which I'm all for it. But
Yeah.
he said, no, we can fix this. We can push through it. And I'm like, okay, man. So like we would have like a couple months where we would break even. I'm like, okay, cool. Like this is working. And then the next month we were back in paying reserves. So like it was just a blind, uninformed optimism is why I went so long before I started letting people go and actually trying to fix systems. And I think part of it also was fear on my side. I was like fearful of, now that I think about it, like the status. I think there's definitely like a status component to having employees. Like, oh, I'm a business owner. Oh, I have employees. I make payroll. Like, this is really cool. I didn't want to go back to being the coach. I wanted to like maintain the CEO status. So I think there was like a little bit of pride there as well. I was stupid. We'll just wrap it up there.
That makes sense, man. I mean, I've been there too, where it's like it makes sense from an ego standpoint, but then when you look at your bank account at the end of the month, you're just like, I can't keep doing this. So yeah, I remember when you came on, and you're like, I want to run ads, and I remember Aaron sending me a message. He's like, red flag, we can't run ads, and so many people don't hear that. Like I've told people similar positions, and they would get upset with me. And I was like, bro,
Yeah.
I'm trying to help you out, man. Like, if we just run ads, we're going to bankrupt you because your margins are so poor. That extra 10, 20% that you're not even paying yourself, where's that money going to come from for
Right.
ads? Even if we would have to have a crazy return, but then you still would only be making 5, 10% profit from that crazy return. Why don't we just, clean some things up? So
Right. And
I
I
was
was actually
excited for
really
you.
grateful I was grateful that Aaron said, "Hey, we can't do this." Because I think also there's something to say when you're operating out of a form of scarcity versus of abundance. Like right now we're running ads and it's like super chill. Like I'm not stressed out if I have no shows. I'm not stressed out if I'm spending money on ads that aren't converting. I'm okay. Imagine like if we started ads with the crappy systems and the outgoing expenses that I had prior, dude, I would be losing my mind. I'd be freaking out. Like I would be panicking all like every minute of every day.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's something to be said of like operating from a form of relaxation because ads take a while. They it's a game and they don't work immediately. And so you need to make sure that you're like in a good mental state if you want to start playing around with them.
Yeah, there's people who come in who don't have that mental state, and they're the hardest clients to work with. And they also, when you're in that state, like a big part of running ads is the same thing with creating content is being creative. So like
Mm,
if you're in this scarcity state, those clients will just kind of be, what do I make next? What do I do next? I'm like, well, I don't know your avatar that well. Here's some things that have worked for me, and here's what I would do. But they're like, can you just tell me exactly what to do? I'm like, I can, but it's not going to be as good as if it's coming from you. You know your audience better than me. So like, why? Yes, I can give you the frameworks, but the creativity piece is honestly what makes or breaks all ads, content, etc. Like you can't just hire a content coach and be like, film this exact thing like this, and it's going to go viral without the energy being there, without the inspiration, the thing that makes the piece of content slash ad unique. I'm glad you're in a much like better space because then you can devote more energy and time to this without that like must work right now. Tell me exactly how to do it. Like blah, blah, blah.
yeah. And I think there was definitely a form of that. I still think I have a little bit of that with Aaron, but that's just because I'm so new to this and I'm still learning that I want to see what Aaron would do
Yeah.
first. And then I'll be like, okay, cool. I'll throw my spin into this. But I think we both are on the understanding that once we have things kind of more solidified, that's when I want to play. That's when
Yeah.
I want to start getting more creative and kind of going off the script a little bit. So yeah.
I'm excited for you, man. Tell me more about the change, right? I'm curious what your offer stack kind of looked like before the change. And then once we did make the change, what happened?
So before the change, we had essentially two offers. You can either work with me or you can work with one of the assistant coaches. Working with me was extremely high ticket because I just wanted to like basically outprice myself. I didn't want to work with anybody. So everybody just ended up working with the coaches. And you had two options. We can go month to month, or we can just pay in full for 6 months. Your choice. The offer itself really hasn't changed that much now. It's just I'm now just doing all the coaching as opposed to offboarding to assistant coaches now.
Got it. So same offer, just now you're doing it. Is the price point different though than it was with assistant coaches and you? Because the before it was more.
So we just rolled out kind of a new avatar and kind of a new offer that we're still kind of workshopping. We're still getting a lot of leads and sales going with like my current offer, but there's this new one that I'm trying to flesh out more and trying to drive more traffic to. It's positioned as the world's first white glove coaching program. So I really want to work more with affluent individuals, executives, high level people, CEOs, entrepreneurs, because those are just the people I love. Those are the people I vibe with. And so this white glove coaching service is we deliver the meals to you every week that perfectly align with your meal plan. We send it straight out to you. We deliver the supplements to you every month. When you sign up, we get your blood work ordered. So it's like a $2,000 metabolic panel, but it's just covered as part of your coaching. So basically, as much of the guesswork as we can eliminate and as much of like the time consuming components of fitness we've eliminated every single bit. Like literally the last thing that I haven't been able to eliminate is the actual lifting of the weights for you. But luckily that's the fun part, so they're okay with that. But every other piece has been completely eliminated. You eat the meals that we send you that are perfectly in line with your meal plan. You just take the supplements that we send you, you get the blood work done. Like, so obviously way more higher ticket. It's much harder to close those. It's because it's so higher ticket, but it's actually kind of cool because we'll pitch that first and then we'll have a lot of people who say, I can't afford that. And then we'll actually offer our current coaching as a downsell. And it actually makes it way more appealing because it's like, well, Do you need your meals delivered to you? Can you
Yeah.
make your food on your own? Can you order your supplements on your own? Can you go to your GP and get your blood work and then send it to us? Okay, well, then maybe this option isn't going to work best for you. Let's go with this option, which is significantly cheaper. It's an easy close. So um, that's kind of how it looks now.
Gotcha. How does the ordering at the labs work? Do you have to have a provider do that?
We partner with Merrick Health.
Oh, cool.
Um,
Yeah, I love their
yeah,
company. That's great.
yeah. So as soon as they sign up, they're automatically onboarded. They're sent a booking link. We have a licensed practitioner on our team now who takes care of all of that. So they basically just show up, get their bloods drawn. Our practitioner meets with me and the client on the call so we can flesh out a full lifestyle plan, hormone optimization, and then they can also prescribe medications they feel like they would need. But the cool thing with Merrick is they're not like a drug mule, like what your general practitioner would be or like a TRT clinic. No, their interests are in line with mine, where I want to try to optimize things through lifestyle, nutrition, and supplementation first, before we just poke you with a needle. That's all part of the coaching.
That's cool. If the client pays you, do you just pay the Merrick Health directly, or do they have to pay them for lab works and stuff like that?
Yeah, so it's so for clients who just sign up, we just pay for it. It's part of like the entire coaching package. If any clients want to get bloods done late like down the road, we just send them a payment link and they just pay us and then we just pay Merrick.
Oh, cool. And then the person who meets with you guys, is she licensed in all different states, or does she have someone on her team that allows for that? Because that's the question I get a lot.
Yeah, they are a licensed practitioner in all 50 states. So they are qualified to prescribe,
That's
diagnose. Yeah.
Is
So
that easy to get, like to be a partner with them? Do you have to apply or be know somebody?
no, I would just reach out. They'll vet you out and just kind of see what you're looking to do and what your offer is and see if they're a good fit. But yeah, just reach out.
That's cool. I originally heard of them through Stan Efforting back in the days. He was like the first person that ever plugged them that I knew of, and was like,
Hmm.
who are these people? Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
great
they're
offer.
great.
I love that. Yeah, I love that. I think that's a good offer for you too, just based off of your skill set, like that demographic.
With the people that I'm looking to attract, look, I'm trying to sell you the Rolls Royce of coaching here. And so I have to have the deliverables and the offer that like aligns with that. Yeah, I think there's a difference between just like putting a price point on something and actually making sure that you can deliver on that price point. So
Yeah.
this is all part of it.
And then meals. Is there a company that you partner with meals too?
Yeah, we partner with Cook Unity. What we do is we will have a client meal plan and we'll have my client concierge every week look at the meal plan, look at how many meals the client wants, and then make sure that those meals that are sent out match up with the calories and protein on the client's meal plan. Client will get a screenshot of the shopping list just to make sure that they approve of the cost and of the foods. And then we just place the order, they get their food.
That's cool. That's
A lot of moving parts, but it's been fun.
more questions on it. What's the margin on that? Because like if general coaching, 15-20% is what goes to fulfillment. This one over here, you probably have less margin overall, more money, like, right? But percentage wise, be less. How do you?
Not really, because with the supplementation and the food, the client's credit card is on file, so all we're doing is just fulfilling the order for them.
Okay, so it's not like they paid you X dollars for 6 months, and that includes supplements and stuff like that. That includes the coaching package plus blood work.
Yeah, so the coaching package pretty much summed up is yeah, the blood work plus the coaching, and then the additional add-ons is the food and the supplements, like
Got
the
it.
extra food.
Okay,
So
that
essentially what
makes
they're
more sense, man. That makes more.
yeah, because I thought going the other route, but then it would be hairy because some people would want 4 meals a day, some people would want 2 meals a day, some people wouldn't even want food delivered. So it's like, okay, look, flat rate.
Yeah.
We put together the cart and we place the order. You have your credit card on file. You're charged whatever it's charged, and then we get a commission. We get a cut of whatever we placed for you, and that's it. So
That's way easier. Yeah, I have worked with one other client before who did the meals, and it destroyed her margins, and she didn't realize it until it was too late. And she had like they'd signed for like 3 months, like in full of meals. And I looked at her numbers and I was like, you have to stop this like this week. I was like, it's just like I can't. They've already paid me for all the food. I'm like, oh my gosh.
yeah, no,
So
I'm not interested in that.
doing the middle, because if you collect that cash, you got to save that cash, and if something happens, you have to get rid of the cash. You're the one buying the food.
Yeah, I'm not interested in that.
Well, Dude, this has been fun. Tell me more about like what your goals are moving forward. Like, what are you looking to build with your offer? Do you want to build a team, keep it lean? What's that direction look like for you now?
Yeah, I joke around with Aaron that I'm a little traumatized of building a team again. Well, yeah, I made a lot of mistakes when I built my first team, but I'm really right now just really interested in just keeping things lean and profitable. Like our monthly income, like our monthly revenue is some of the smallest that we've seen in the past couple of years, but I'm actually keeping the majority of what we're bringing in, which is a wonderful, wonderful feeling. Yeah, as far as like revenue goals, I don't know if I have anything really big. I think right now I'm just more so just chasing consistency and stability. I've got some business debts that I really want to eliminate. I would like to really build up those financial reserves that we had before everything kind of went downhill. So that's kind of just where I'm at right now, is continue closing deals, making sales, getting profitable again, building up my reserves, getting out of debt, and then maybe my abundance mindset will improve and I won't be as much of in a scarcity mindset, and then I can look at hiring again. But right now I'm enjoying just keeping things lean and having, two people on payroll, me, myself, and my concierge, and that's it. So
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a lot to that, man. Especially just the way the coaching has like your story is aligned with a lot of people. I had another consult this past week of another person who did really big numbers in 2022, 2023. Like not on big numbers, but like probably 3 to 4 million or so if I had to guess off top line. And now I looked at their ads, and this entire year they were selling one client a month off of ads, and they're used to doing 30, 40 clients a month. And it was like, whoa, what happened? A lot of things have shifted in the coaching space, and I see it continuing to shift over time, and it's going to ebb and flow, but it's definitely more of a theme slash trend of like improving profitability, like more than ever. With the tools we have with access to AI, automations, all of that stuff, it's like we don't need a huge team to still make like very good money as an online coach. I know people who do
mhm.
100K plus months in profit and have a team of 3 people. Again, most of the time they're selling some sort of like very high touch service, or it could be some like business to business type work because they can have less clients. Regardless, like it's all possible. And I'm even myself, like going into next year, we're going to make some changes to do something similar. It's like we've had good margins, but there's also so much more that can be done. And I think, yeah, again, the trend across the board is like, how can we simplify? Because coaching businesses should be cash flow businesses. And if we can have fun, fun building and growing our businesses and doing the things we do, and then having that money, investing it into other assets, that's like the long-term play.
Mm.
When we turn these coaching businesses into like real businesses that have no exit value, it's kind of stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah, well, I'm just curious, like if you could give yourself some advice, like looking back at yourself at like even a year and a half ago, year ago, what would you tell yourself, you know?
What did I tell myself a year ago? Fire everybody. Legit. Like
Yeah.
fire everybody. Like I reflected a lot on like why I wanted such a big team. Was it was pride, but it was also like a form of laziness. I was so excited and so motivated to like outsource and delegate all of my tasks to other people, but I didn't replace that extra time with higher level skills and tasks of myself. And so what ended up happening is I just became lazy. I think I would tell myself a year ago, hey, downsize. This has been going on for too long. Stop being lazy. There's a quote that I've been really heavily relying on. When the wind no longer fills the sails, take to the oars. And that's what I've had to do this year is like, look, things haven't been working. It's time to take to the oars. It's time to get your hands dirty. It's time to get in there, get in the DMs, manually book the sales calls, stop relying on inbound stuff, stop trying to like hire out your problems, like get your hands dirty, let go of your outgoing expenses. Let's go. That's what I would tell myself.
What do you think yourself would have said if you told yourself that?
Oh, fuck you.
So I
Yeah.
figured, you're like, hey, this is what you should do. And it's like, oh yeah, I'm open-minded. You'd be like, I'm good, bro.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't have listened to myself a year ago.
That's cool, man. We're here to grow and develop and just learn more, man. I'm excited to keep supporting you and working with Aaron on your projects. I'm excited to see you get further into ads and actually be able to see the real growth and potential that they can have for you. So
Yeah, I'm excited. It's been fun. My first close from just like a couple weeks, I was like, holy shit, this actually works. Like I've had so much skepticism around the ads, and I kind of been fighting Aaron for the first little bit of like, oh, I don't want to do this. I'm scared. I'm scared. I don't want to do it. And we finally do it. And I made a close, made 3K after one sales call. And I'm like, okay, this works. Okay, I can make this work. So yeah, that was exciting.
Good, man. Yeah, they're fun, man. They're so fun. I just want to run them for everybody, but I can't. I just like geeking
You
out
need to
over
be
the
ready.
data.
Yeah, you said something that I really liked on one of the other podcasts that I watched. It's a game, and that's kind of like there's this RPG that I really like playing. I don't know if you heard it, Stardew Valley. It's a farm game,
What's it
but
called?
Stardew Valley.
No.
It's a farming simulator. So like you basically build crop, you like buy stuff, and you build crop, and then you sell your crop. And so like I'm now at the point in business where it's a game again. Like, okay, where do I need to invest to make more money? Or like, how long is this going to take to grow so I can turn around and cultivate this and sell it? You know, so it's like that's what business is now. Like the ads is just another money thing. It's another game for me.
Yeah, it's a fun game, and you can always just change your offers if you get bored. You know, you're like, oh, this is kind of boring. I'm gonna do this white glove service. So that's kind of. Well, I wonder if I could partner with somebody else in a different space and kind of be the back end for them. Like you can just the whole thing. It's all whatever you make of it. You know what I mean? Like if you don't want to be the face of a company anymore, you don't have to be. You know how to pull the right levers, and you know how to make offers, and you know how to make some things work. So like, yeah, it's all a game. There's thousands of ways to play. There's thousands of ways to win. There's tens of thousands of ways to lose.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, cool,
So
man. This has been fun. Where can people find you?
at Look Like You Lift on all platforms. We're most active on Instagram and TikTok. I'm trying to get stuff going on YouTube right now. I'm having some fun with that, but yeah, we're primarily just on Instagram and TikTok. So
Cool. YouTube's where it's at. I think you'd do well with YouTube. You got a good setup too, and you're just very direct. I think you'd crush it.
I'm having fun with it. I'm just doing vlogs right now. I would love to do more long form, higher editing stuff. It's just a lot of work.
Yeah, I love all the stuff that Mike Ezertail does, but he's more educational science-y stuff. But I feel like you could do a similar, the way he edits them or whoever his team does, where he's like on his computer and the thing just comes up to the side. For him, it's just he sits down, has a slide deck, goes through it, makes some jokes, makes me laugh. And it's fun to watch.
Yeah, but I would love to get more into YouTube.
Well, cool, man. Well, that's all I got for today. Thank you guys for being here. If you guys want to go follow Braden and connect with him, he shared his handles here. Braden, again, thanks for being here, man, and excited to keep supporting you.
Yeah, pleasure, man. Thank you.